Hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about woke localizer.
Yes.
Now let make this clear to everyone. They are the most unwanted people in the history. They want to use sensitive words, which completely that just make me roll my eyes every time. For example, Wu Chang fallen words was changed, which completely turn me away.
Yep.
But hey, let's play this video.
We have seen so many instances of localizers disrespecting source material to the point where they completely butcher a product and then inevitably push people away.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
True which.
Why?
Need to hire these people. All they do is make every anime and social media unbearable to the point nobody believes what they say at all. So they switch into Japanese language and people like me don't want to hear their
bullshit?
at all, to be honest, but they completely on their social media, on them getting kicked out, which is hilarious to me, and no, don't have sympathy towards people like this.
One of those individuals is Katrina Translator, somebody who has been extremely vocal in this space and somebody who has time and time again bragged about their terrible work. And now we're finding out that this infamous localizer is actually a director now for a major Japanese video game company.
Get the fuck out!
Again, why are people hiring bad actors? That brags on the internet. The first thing I'm going to do is tell you we can't hire you because we check your social media account, and you bragging about messing up our work, so we're going to decline you and make you go back to your country, which will be goal for me because we need some type of punishment in the gaming industry.
On this channel, because I want a creative's initial intentions to be brought to different audiences. Otherwise, why are you going to translate it if you're not going to do so faithfully and respectfully?
You're goddamn right.
And these people feel like they know what is best, and when something bothers them, they will alter it. I mean, Katrina here has admitted multiple times that because a piece of dialogue or a piece of information in a game was something that they thought could upset Western audiences and something that people could take offense to.
I don't give a shit.
I don't care what people feel at all, because you got people complaining seeing SNFW or artwork of it, or games make you violent, which is not true at all, or stop using oil movement, and now they're worried about Western people getting offended over it. Sorry, most people are not sensitive. They've seen a lot of nonsense that happened over in the West. Hear 'em guarantee they will not be offended over nothing.
Western Localizer proudly brags about butchering Sentai Filmworks' English localization of 2.5-dimensional seduction. Of course, you know exactly who this is. So excited to be working on this one as an ex-competitive cosplayer who's still very much involved with the current competitive cosplay scene. It's so much fun getting to work on a series that takes sexy cosplay seriously now. I'm not trying to be the bearer of bad news. I'm not trying to be that really mean person, but...
Oh, really?
I think she need to stay away from the dress in general, because the people who are sensitive are the ones who wear provocative clothing that try to attract men or female if you're into that, but failed miserably. For one reason, their attitude, or you can't say this because someone feeling will be hurt, turn people off, and that why they can't get any glue or eggs and try to be nice here. People just work with me.
The premiere of their work on 2.5-dimensional seduction soon drew a wave of outrage from audiences, their frustrations peaking due to yet another being denied another faithful translation of a Japanese work.
Coincidence? I think not!
In this new localization, the explanation is not only far shorter in length, but also far more crude in its content, in effect replacing the joke of it's genuinely funny because he's so passionate about his interests with one whose premise is essentially it's cringe funny because he's being unnecessarily over-dramatic and creepy, which of course is not what fans wanted.
Why treat the customer this way? Why? Because fuck them, that's why.
Let's be honest, these people really shouldn't be work at any industry whatsoever, but if they're not respecting the source material, then why are you there in the first place? But do understand kids, which it even, though that means nothing at all. See, when what make this funny, they always try to make the male characters a creep, which begs the question, why hire someone who god tier awful at their job? I'm starting to think she failed at that interview.
This same Western localizer bragged about deliberately botching High Dive's English subtitles for My Life as Inuki-san's Dog. Not shocking there. Sentai Filmworks replaces the term lolicon with problematic age gap in their localization of Dark Gathering anime.
Why?
Why these people brag on the internet that everyone can see it in full displaying and not get call in the office at all, for admit to ruin their property then cry on the internet, and call everyone fancy words when in reality they cause their own downfall. And I'm going to take it a step further, they don't need their job at all. They may be harsh, but is the truth. If you can't keep the things that the writers work hard, then yeah, no, stay far away.
Not only are Japanese fans fighting back, but Western anime fans and video gamers are fighting back as well.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
So Manga Lawyer had posted Big Brother Katrina, the famous localizer who inserted a non-binary character in 13 Sentinels from Vanillaware, is now the director of localization for a major Japanese video game company. They had
Look, I'm going to say this, you can be gay or bisexual or non-binary or straight, whatever, that doesn't mean you are free of criticism for your nonsense, and I don't know why Japan want to bring problematic people from the West, that people outright avoid at all times, but this person working on a video game, which is even worse because games is meant for escaping reality to find happiness, not bring them back to the real world that they hate.
Some advanced Japanese learners here already know what Katrina did, but for newcomers, the character is just a cross-dresser.
Oh, no.
Some think Sega could be the next company. That also is a possibility. Remember, Japanese companies now make games for global audiences.
That's why anime starting to suck, because you're giving crazy people who should be in asylum. Not normal people don't know why they're catering. Global audience that have their own agenda. They don't want to give you money, they want to write everything. From history, anime, games, movies, they are nothing but trouble at the truth at the end of the day. Plus this are the same people who would call you horrible for not agreeing with their logic.
So they self-censor Japanese script and text too. On the left is English. It says, let's say some binaries work for me and others don't. This lets me hide the fact that I'm even alive. To the Japanese, which is, this is more convenient for me. It lets me keep it a secret that I'm alive. So very different.
What could possibly go wrong?
The Japanese one sound much better. I'm sorry, that not something you need to change at all because it actually fits. The description of it, this why people don't want censorship because we get misinformation. That screws over the consumers, that why when Silk Song came out, the journalist was losing their mindset because they can't say anything about it. But at this situation, everyone going to switch it into Japan.
And it is so disheartening to see this happen because this is somebody who, yes, does censor based on their own opinions. And that means that this Japanese company is basically going to just have this person self-censor everything, and we are going to get watered down content.
That is true.
Well, let's be honest, they want to lose money. Ever since these people came in the industry, have anyone noticed that they're not entertaining and more or unfunny because they think they hurt people's feelings? Let me be honest. Here, do people really care about someone else feeling? Probably not. To be honest, a job is a job that means emotions. Tell me nothing at the end.
So many people started looking at Japanese entertainment, South Korean entertainment, even Chinese entertainment, is that it was new, it was fresh, it was unique, and they weren't afraid to take risks. And that's something we don't see happening a lot in the Western video game industry, especially from these AAA companies.
Now this one, I slightly disagree because companies do take risk. Is just it never works out in their favor. For example, 343 game was a failure because they tried to cater to an audience that does not exist. Then again, they never had a good reputation with their player base and they make the game way too expensive. Other than that, I'm agree with here.
That's why we look to indies, that's why we look to AA's, that's why we look to these other regions, and the fact that now they're just trying to follow in the AAA company's footsteps and they want to appeal to global audiences is really just such a major red flag.
Oh.
I do understand why they want to become something big. Believe me, it's a good dream. However, most of this big companies keep pushing products that's not even worth $80 in general, or hiring a group of people that down are narcissists that generally do not care about the game and only push their problem on. It's so sad this small indie developers follow crazy people, but hey, hope they succeed.
Actually hired them, though. I mean, one would assume it's one of these companies they've worked with in the past, like Sega or Atlas, and that's just really sad to me, and clearly a lot of other people. Makes you wonder if any of these studios do any research and background on who they're hiring.
No.
Probably not. They probably just assume that if this person is in the industry and they are getting hired for different projects pretty consistently, that they're a-okay to work with.
Well, that's a bad mindset to have, because even if this person getting hired multiple time doesn't mean they have a good reputation among consumers, and it's easy to find bad reviews that are validating. For example, check out their past work that speaks loud and proud is a way easy to find information now this day. But this on may be too long for my taste, to say the least. In conclusion, They hire crazy picture of me without doing a research. Hopefully this person gets kicked out, and we'll see you all in the next video.